And in the name of dancing, let's keep it electronic music and all that vibe. My final guest tonight is a genre-breaking electronic artist, producer, Grammy-nominated writer and multi-instrumentalist, Black British, openly trans male artist. Geo Jordan has worked with the likes of Doja Cat, Lianne La Havas, Oscar Jerome. He just landed today, in fact, back from tour. I thought it was yesterday, but it's today. He's booked and busy. He's flying out again. Geo, how are you today?
I'm very good. I'm very, very good.
Are you jet lagged?
Considered. I'm actually not too jet lagged, but I'm a few coffees in today. So
how many?
Yeah. Like 2.
Oh, okay.
That's not many for a lot of people, but for me, I'm very sensitive to caffeine.
No, I am as well. I think 2's the limit for me.
Yeah.
If I go any more, then no, I'm going to be shaking like a leaf. I think it's actually a health hazard.
That's about right for me too, to be honest.
Can't do it. So, Gio, firstly, how are you just in general?
Yeah, really good. Really good. I'm just sort of like coming off the back of quite a significant time away.
Yeah.
I've been out on tour with Jungle as a multi-instrumentalist, bassist, vocalist for them. So it's been an absolute whirlwind so far, but amazing. We did like a North American tour, which was brilliant. America's great and fun and lots of interesting food. Many a burger, we'll say. Many a burger.
Right, okay.
No, all good.
Good. So where have you, what places have you been? Where did you literally just come back from?
So basically that was the North American tour. So we ended up doing a bunch of North America, West Coast and East Coast and Canada. So yeah, a mixture of that stuff and a multitude of shows. I think we did about 15, 16 shows over 5 weeks.
Wow. And do you know what? I only started listening to Jungle this year because they headlined All Points East in the summer. And I don't know where I've been. Because I'm like, the music is so good. So then when I was like, oh my goodness, Geo is like performing with Jungle as well. This is crazy. Yeah. I love this. Let's take it right back to the beginning.
Yes.
Let's talk about your musical journey, your musical career. Right back to the beginning. What was the music that inspired you, that wanted you to go down this crazy route of being an artist?
It's crazy because I kind of started in the polar opposite world, which is like classical music. So I started playing classical piano when I was 4 years old. I grew up in North London as well and used to visit my piano teacher around the corner, and I came from a very musical household. My mum and dad were separated, but at the time were both doing sort of musical endeavours and always playing loads of music and putting on shows or being in shows or DJing. So it was always just sort of around me, and that was like stuff like R&B and soul and funk and listen to like brand new heavies and stuff like that. And then my dad had loads of hip hop influence and just Tribe Called Quest and I don't know. As I grew up, I went into sort of like other trends and genres and things as I got older, and I started skateboarding and video gaming, and that kind of opened my world to a lot of other music as well. And then eventually I started getting into like rock and punk and electronic music over the years. But yeah, studying music from 4 till 21, 22.
Right. What instruments do you play?
Oh my gosh.
I'm jealous
It's easy to list the ones that I don't. I don't play them. I'm terrible at trumpet. I'm like really bad at trumpet.
Okay.
I tried to learn, but piano, drums, bass guitar, keyboards, like synths and stuff. And
you're showing off.
Production and a bunch. I sing as well.
Wow. And this is so all in these years of you like learning how to play instruments. This is all the stuff that you're learning, all these different instruments, or did you pick up some later on?
Yeah, I started initially with piano, and then when I got to about 10, 11 years old, it was guitar. Then I taught myself bass guitar from learning guitar, and I was in a bunch of bands and groups at school. I went to quite a musical school, which unfortunately the old building has now been demolished, but if anyone knows of Pimlico School, which is now Pimlico Academy, it birthed a lot of wicked artists like, Nilofer Yanya, Cosima, Cadiata, like a bunch of people went there. So it's quite prestigious for music, kind of not necessarily a rival to BRIT, but definitely alongside it in terms of quality of people that came out there that were really creative. And it was a real incubator for me. I think I wouldn't be the sort of musician or artist that I was today without that place and without that school and the special music course particularly that they had.
Okay, give us like a little insider. What do you feel like you learned that was the most significant thing in that specific school?
I think it was to collaborate, really and truly. And I went through a situation where I kind of recessed from collaborating for a while and went to hone in on my own artistry for some time. after leaving a band situation that was quite amazing and also intense. And I've actually recently sort of started finding the beauty in collaboration again in the last couple of years. Like, all the stuff I'm working on now as an artist is still me producing, writing, playing everything, but now I'm sort of speaking to friends and being like, hey, can you cast an ear on this? Or come into the studio and get involved. Or like, I'm sort of opening myself up to that again a bit more. But definitely the early years, it's more fun with friends.
Yeah.
You know, you just want like get in a practice room or like plug a bunch of guitars in and just like thrash out and have fun with your friends. Like, it's very much a communal thing. And I think, yeah, there's so much beauty in collaboration. I think as much as I can sort of do all this stuff myself, it's just so much more fun to like share and enjoy it with many people.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Definitely take it.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. Let's go back to your first ever release.
Yes.
The Geo then, the Geo now. Like, as a sound, how have you changed, evolved? What's the journey been like actually now putting out the music? You are an artist, you're on Spotify, you're on the streaming platforms. What's the change?
Oh, I think the first song I put out was a song called You Should Know. And it was kind of quite like reverby and ethereal and dreamy. And I think there's still a little bit of that in my music now, but I think I'm just kind of in a different place personally where I just want to dance more.
Yeah, I feel
I just want to
you.
move, and like I can still have those elements in the music. And I think notoriously it's always been quite electronic or electronica based, but I think definitely more of a fusion with newer stuff is like more real instruments and guitars and indie influence and like Prince and all that kind of stuff kind of poking through the mix a little bit more. And it's also very vocal forward. Back then I was like drenching my vocals in effects and stuff. Not that I still do that in elements now, but my voice is very much at the forefront of all the music now. So that's different. But that's like a personal growth situation, you know, so it'll come out of your shell a little bit and then you're like, oh, it doesn't sound that bad. Just keep going.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you just kind of like get your confidence and put yourself at the forefront.
And like I said to you earlier, we're going to play Close Enough, which I love.
Thank you.
Give us the insight of Close Enough. What was the inspiration for Close Enough?
Gosh.
Give us the tea.
For me, it's always like the music and the production that comes first, and then like sort of rough melodies, and then like the lyrical inspiration will come. And it was very much like, it's actually started that song on a Twitch stream. I was making a beat live on a Twitch stream I think it would have been in COVID. And I just was like, I'm really into this beat, and I didn't really do anything with it for ages. And then I sort of started developing the production a little bit more, and lyrics just kind of came instantaneously. And it's very much about like connecting with someone that is completely unexpected, and you're just like, it's almost like you kind of get that real rush of excitement and interest, and you're not really thinking about it. It's just sort of happening. And you're like, you need to kind of catch yourself in a way, because things can happen so fast in that way, especially when it's related to like new friendships or new loves or anything like that. And it can be quite a whirlwind, and I think the intensity of it feels like you almost can't get close enough to that situation. You just want more of it and to feel good in that thing. And
I've been there.
I think it just kind of goes with the energy of the song a little bit, and the production. It's just kind of like intense but like exciting.
Yeah.
So I think that's
I've
the
definitely been
vibes.
there. I'm quite like that. I'm like, the thing is, it's like when I like someone or something, I want more of it and more of it, and I want to be around them all the time. And suddenly, what's work? What's schedule? Throw it all out the window.
Right.
What are you doing? I'm learning to stop doing that, but I completely get it with the song. So you're an electronic artist, and
Yes.
I find it really interesting though as well, because it's like electronic music also come very much as part of Black history and Black music as well, but it's become very like white. How have you found it as a Black artist positioning yourself in the electronic world? How has it been for you? Because I think when we're always talking about Black artists, it's always R&B and hip hop, and I get it, but there are so many Black artists that make rock music, folk music, and they're like struggling to be like, no, I'm not making R&B just do you know what I mean? How has it been for you?
It's interesting because I've seen that conversation topic come up quite a bit, especially on social media. And for me, I think where I started was always very electronic, but I was always typecasted as like an R&B soul artist for a long time, even though my music was very left of center. And I think it's been a bit of a fight to change the label. in a way for people. I also had to do it within myself in a way because I felt like, I'm writing stuff that's very soul and jazz influenced, even now still, but it's always had that sort of dancey-ish, like electronic-ish element that kind of like sets it aside and is a bit more left of center. So I think, you just kind of have to scream it from the rooftops until people listen. Yeah. Really. And also just like getting people to come down to your show and actually hear it loud and like not on a tinny phone speaker or like make their denominations necessarily from how you look on socials. They need to come to a show and experience the whole thing. And I think that's, for me, that's of the most value is like come down to a show and see what I do, or like come and get involved and immersed in my world versus like trying to gauge it and figure it out from the internet or like recordings per se. Yeah. But I'm on stage wielding a guitar and playing dance music, and I think if I just sort of continue on this trajectory and keep going and keep making great music, eventually people will just drop their preconceptions, hopefully, and just take me for me. Absolutely. So, here's to hoping. Yeah. If I do it long enough.
And I think it's really useful for just any artist right now, especially a black artist that is making music that isn't R&B or hip hop, for them to know how, because I literally see it on the timeline so many times. Like you've had artists like Rachel Chinariri and Maud have had to write long essays and be like, no, totally. It's lazy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's lazy. So you're right. Go down to the shows. If you are an artist, get people down to the shows. Yeah. Speaking of just shows and, I mean, reading out what you've done, what's been the highlight of your career so far?
Oh, boy.
I mean, I feel like there's a long list.
I think there's a few different things. There's obviously, doing shows with Jungle has been amazing. But played to crowds that are insane, and it's a great experience. Everyone involved with that project is just amazing. And to see the world with a bunch of people that lovely is a real privilege. But definitely that stuff. Definitely like, I feel like any sort of headline show of my own I put on is an achievement, because you're sort of taking your idea from your brain, turning it into something tangible and an experience someone can really get in the room. So I think if I'm playing to a room of 100 people or 10,000, I'm so grateful people are actually there just to support and listen to my music. So the last show I would have done would have been potentially the Sounds Queer headline, actually. I also did one at was it Pizza Express Holborn?
Oh, which was they do their live shows. Intimate.
A wonderful friend of mine, fellow electronic artist Jack Garrett, put on an amazing show with myself and another artist, Tamzine, both of them are amazing if you don't know of them. But
when you hear them on my show soon, it's because I got it.
He put on a night and it was like extremely intimate, and the show sold out, and it was just really lovely to play all of this electronic stuff super stripped, and I sort of brought a big synth along, and even it's like those moments I really cherish as well, when it's just like focused listening. And then obviously the Grammys and all the stuff as like production and, as a producer and a writer for other people, some of that stuff has reached stream counts and highs I couldn't even have imagined as like a 10-year-old Geo, like bashing a drum kit at Pimlico. So, there's definitely a lot of pinch yourself moments, but at the same time, you just kind of want to stay humble with those and just use them as fuel to like better yourself or better your skill set or your creativity, and sort of stay open-minded, really.
And how do you stay grounded where like you're living the tour life, you're in front of huge crowds, there's that moment where it's like it's euphoric, it's like the adrenaline's pumping, all of that. How do you take care of yourself and stay grounded? Because also you might have moments where it's like, oh, okay, it's done, I'm not doing anything. So how are you taking care of yourself?
I think for me it is I'm really bad at sleeping, oddly, but sleep is actually super important just to like reset yourself every day. And I just try, and particularly with this tour we've just had, like really trying to get into a routine of like staying on top of my health in terms of food and beverages, and just getting to the gym every day or at least every other day, and just that stuff really helps me exert a lot of like trash out of my body and get a sweat on and just like reset myself in a way. And also, just to be honest, my friends and my family, like my friends are my family in many ways, and pretty much all of them are creative or artists to some degree of varying levels, and I'm just very blessed to have people that are just generally grounded around me that will call me out on stuff. It's important. That's a good friend, it's important. You just need people that are real around you, and just like, if you're being a douche, then they'll tell you and be like, hey, sort it out.
I
Do you
know you
what
just
mean?
come
And
back from tour, love. Yeah.
And also, just like situations where you'll be doing gigs and then you're coming home and eating baked beans. It's a very real situation. Like, music doesn't necessarily pay to everybody at every level. You know, you kind of, you know, there's definitely gigs and tours and bits I've done for people who have not been paid before. And it's just, I know it's part of like earning your stripes in the industry and getting people around to know your name and stuff. But, you know, that stuff is super humbling and you don't forget that stuff easily. So when you get the good stuff and you're paid well and you can make a career out of it, it really does make a big difference. And just having a bit of perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
so what's coming up for you?
Oof. Okay, so pretty much the rest of the year is kind of split between me working on a couple of projects. I've got a couple of top secret projects that are happening outside
we can't say anything?
Not yet.
Okay.
They are kind of in incubation stage or recording stage, but a couple of little secret things going on there. I'm working on another rather large Geo Jordan project as well alongside those bits, and then doing a lot of production and writing whilst on tour for other people, but also touring with Jungle as well till the end of the year, like into December. I kind of take a little mini studio and work on things when I'm on the road and just kind of keep all of those connections and those things active. So yeah, between like co-writing, producing for other people, making some records of my own with my various projects and touring, that's pretty much my year done.
Wow, so you're busy.
Yeah. There's never, I'll always make a job if there isn't one. So it's just, you know, I'm very creative by nature, but also love to play music live. So it's just trying to strike the balance between those things. But
so is there an opportunity before the year's out that people can come and watch you perform live?
Actually, I don't know if there is, unless you get to a Jungle show in Europe. But I'm working on sort of finessing some bits for early next year. I'm sort of completely independent and self-managed, so all of this just sort of comes through me at this point in time.
Wow. I think that's a great achievement with everything you're doing, and
Thank
you are completely... It's hard.
Yeah. That's why I don't sleep.
And you got here on time.
Yeah.
Well done.
No, thank you very much.
Well done. Right, where do we go to find you, follow the journey, anticipate your next project that you're going to bring out next year?
Excellent. So anywhere on the internet, if you type in Geo Jordan, Jordan, you will find me on there. Instagram handle is It's Geo Jordan, so ITSGEO JORDAN. Everything is on there. There's links to everything. There's music on Spotify, there's music on Apple Music, any platform you wish and desire to have on your phone or computer, I will be on there with bells on. I had my Fathom EP out in April this year. It's still very much alive and kicking, so go and check it out if you can. Give
us actually a quick insight, what Fathom, the inspo around that. I realised we didn't touch on this.
A lot of it was actually birthed in COVID, and I feel like I guess some of the subjects that I touched on the record were things that just felt very personal and deep to me that I hadn't really looked at on other projects, and it just kind of felt appropriate to call it that. But yeah, it was really birthed out of experimentation in COVID, and to be honest, I know for a lot of people COVID was very difficult, but it really gave me a lot of time to explore my sonic and change things up a little bit. And yeah, I think it feels like a bit of a transformative record for me, for sure. But yeah, we're just getting deep on them, I guess.
Right, so I think we need to hear now Close Enough. I would love you to do the honours of introducing it yourself. But also, where's my manners? Thank you for coming down.
Thanks
your
for having
booked
me.
and busy schedule.
Yes.
I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see everything that you're going to be achieving moving forward. And I would love you to reintroduce yourself and introduce your track.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Geo Jordan, and this song is called Close Enough from my Fathom EP. Check it out.